Hey everybody, this is an interesting video for me to do because I had a company that sent me a product to test because they wanted to think about becoming a sponsor of the channel. Now, I wanted to tell you how this works. You might consider this a sponsored video because a company sent me this. And okay, fine. This company is called SimpliSafe, and when I looked at them, and CNET had some great reviews, a couple of the places had some really great reviews for a very affordable home security system that, whether it's monitored or not, and man, this is one that I've always felt like is really expensive for what you get. And you know, my home security system has been my dogs basically, and my firearms and my own personal skill. But I think especially when you're away from home, having something that can watch the house for you and as well as monitor things like your smoke detectors and stuff like that is not a bad thing at all. They approached me about maybe sending me a unit to test and see if it was good and if I liked it to be a sponsor of Active Self-Protection. I have a big thing here that I will only allow sponsors for the business whose products I believe in. It's a huge thing to me because I feel like my first responsibility, my only responsibility really, is to you, my viewers, because you guys are the ones, all the Aspers out there are the ones who make the business happen. So I just thought we'd unbox it, see how it does, and install it and see if it works like they say. So let's get into it. Box is heavy, I'll say that. Somebody's going to ask me about the knife, I'm sure. It's a Benchmade 730S Aries with an Elishewitz blade that my pop gave me as a gift many years ago, and it's special to me. All right, let's break in here and see what we got. All right, we have a thing. Burglar alarm monitoring information. Okay, so it's not required. So this is shipping address stuff and order subtotals and the stuff that they sent, okay? They send you a little thing to put in your yard so that people think, hey, this is protected, and they don't take your stuff. Okay, get rid of that. Oh, look at all this. Okay, so we always come with a base station, all right? So everything comes with a base station. Let's just take everything out of here and then we'll see what goes down. So one of the things I actually kind of like about what they do is that their base system is very basic. It's only a couple $100, and if you don't want monitoring, well then you don't have to have monitoring. It's no big deal. And then everything else is kind of a la carte. Add what you need, which is kind of neat because then you don't waste money and you don't waste your resources, which is kind of cool. It's a good looking system. You know, you can go online and do a whole bunch of research on it, but you see the base of the station. So basically the way this works is this guy is going to connect to all the sensors, and those sensors are window sensors, door sensors for opening. It's got a glass break sensor. It's got other stuff like that. You also can add on cameras. This is one of the SimpliCams that can monitor inside. This is an interior camera, not an exterior one. Some interesting stuff here. The keypad set up there, very cool. They did send me a Doorbell Cam. I have had nothing but problems with Doorbell Cams, so I'm gonna install this one and see if I can get it to work. I haven't been able to get other ones to work on my particular doorbell. We'll see how that goes. There's a water sensor, so if you get a water leak in the house, it hears water running in the floors, it will alarm to you. That's pretty cool. They sent me several motion detectors. This is more for a room that has more than 3 windows. It's a little bigger than that. Okay, cool. We got a couple of things. Key fobs, which is kind of nice. So they sent me 2 key fobs, and what the key fobs do is rather than having to use the keypad on the wall, right? So let's see, there is, here's the keypad that you would set up on the wall. If you put this on your key fob, you can just do it like you do your car alarm, which is kind of cool. Oh, this is neat. Freeze detector. It's not something I'm going to use here in Phoenix at all. I'll toss this, but if it gets under 40 degrees, it'll alarm to you so you can make sure that your pipes don't freeze if it's getting cold in your neighborhood. Whole bunch of entry alarms that they sent me here. They sent me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. A glass break alarm that I already talked about, which is pretty cool. And they sent me a smoke detector, which I think is a very valuable thing. I think everything looks well designed and pretty cool, so let's unpack some of this stuff and see what we got. Please remove to activate batteries. Easy day. Plug it in when we get out where we're going. Some screws in there to hold that bad boy down. Oh, but it's cool. It's press tape, right, on the back. So then that way you can stick it pretty much anywhere you want, and that will hold where you want it to, which is kind of cool. Well, you gotta let go. Hurt my left hand in jiu-jitsu yesterday, and so my hand's hurt and I can't do everything I want to do. It's a pretty cool. That's a pretty cool little key fob. I really like that. It's kind of neat. It's fairly simple. It's maybe a little larger than I would really love, but I think it'd go on your keychain without too much problems. My big challenge with that is that my Mustang trigger is a proximity key, so I almost never take it out of my pocket. But I guess, you know, I do when my front door is locked because I got to unlock it. So that very fact makes that pretty easy. So we'll pop these out, which is pretty cool. Let's see about installing this bad boy. All right, a couple motion detectors. I think these are neat. They say that they are calibrated so that your pets won't set them off, and I think that's kind of cool. I'm gonna be interested to install this and see if we can not detect my two slobbery mutts or my two ugly cats, and instead just detect if somebody comes through one of the doors or if nobody's home or something like that. Glass break detector here. You know, it's interesting. CNET said this one can be a little bit finicky, but I think it's going to be an interesting thing to kind of try out here. Got another motion sensor there. I'm not even going to bother with the freeze alarm. I got to be honest with you. It's not something that's really going to be a deal for me because I live in Phoenix and it never gets below 40 degrees in any meaningful capacity here at all. In the house, at least, never ever. It's a water detector, so that'll be helpful. Another motion detector here. I think there's 2 rooms in the house that could really use a motion detector, which is kind of cool, in my house at least. And let's see here. So I like that they mount with a screw, or it looks like you can. They also mount with just a press tape, which makes life pretty easy. I bet you that'll be easy to install when that time rolls around. Okay, cool. This one was a panic button. So that's, you know, you put that in your bedroom. If you tap that sucker, the cops are coming very quickly. So you want to set that where nobody's going to mess with it, you know, where the little ones can't get to it. Now, the SimpliCam is an interesting one because I have seen on the channel a few home camera, you know, that were important and help people, you know, to find bad guys later. I think my particular family situation is probably one that I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put a camera on the inside of the house right now, just because I have some family situations that would make that problematic. But we'll try it out a little bit and see what it does. Now, like I said, the doorbell is going to be an interesting one because I had such a pain with the last one because my doorbell was, I think, installed in 1972 or something. So it has not been particularly successful for me. I wasn't able to get one of the other company's doorbells to work, and I'm not feeling like this one's going to do any better. Maybe that's just me being grumpy about it, but it is what it is. So I'm going to do this and we'll see how it goes, but I got to be real, I'm not super optimistic about it. All right, cool. Well, let's see what we can do to set it up.